All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for coming to our Haihai Fire Station blessing. Appreciate your patience, and we'll be getting started. We'll start off with several speakers coming up and talking a little bit about this project, and then we'll do a blessing, and then the station will be open for tours for anyone who would like to go through the station and check it out. Very much.
You know, from the start, this project was a great community project. You know, from the boys sitting in the corral drinking their beer and poo-poos every Friday afternoon, which was just this way. I'm the guy that owned the cows. And this was a 2-acre pasture, which was really a good part of our ranch. Now, thanks to the fire department, I'm less 2 acres. However, this is really a community project, and you know, I think Harry and I agree that the station here has much more implications than just the station and the safety that it wants people. Those of you familiar with the Kawailani Street, now this releases work to be done on Kawailani. That the place is a tremendous eyesore, tremendous traffic problem, and now it's going to be relieved. And I'm happy that I had a small part, and my cows had a small part in sacrificing land. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed, last but not least, I really enjoyed working with Kaeo for the construction company. And just great people, great people. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Nolan Escron, County of Hawaii Public Works. He is the project manager for this project, and this project would not have been successful without him.
Thank you, everyone, for attending today's dedication of the newly completed Haihai Fire Station, the product of approximately 2 years of planning and 2 years of construction. Today we look at this completed fire station. Wow, you know, it's just beautiful, yeah? The drive-through apparatus bay, the commercial stainless steel kitchen. If you didn't see it, you're going to be seeing them shortly. You know, the fire station is definitely not an easy to construct project. You know, to give you an idea, there's like 24 different subcontractors involved, you know, with the general contractor to build this project. As an example, these walls over here, they're concrete metal stud walls. Some of them have reinforced concrete columns and beams. Some of them have structural steel columns and beams. You'll hear later on from the general contractor, you know, 50 somewhat panels, and probably only 4 were similar. You know, that is a lot of work. Without a doubt, this is a very architecturally appealing building, and no doubt a far cry from the old Kawailani Fire Station. For the design, we want to acknowledge KYA Design Group, Inc., who unfortunately was unable to make today's blessing. Them, along with their 6 sub-consultants, began the creation, coordinated, and put together the various pieces for the final drawings. As Mike was saying, the completion timing of this project was to coincide with the construction of the Kawailani intersection improvements project. You know, I'm happy to say that we made this schedule literally just a couple of days after we moved out of that station. The contractor was in the front of Kawailani breaking concrete. Also, may I also say, a lot of people have the misconception, you know, that construction projects shouldn't have change orders. You know, on the contrary, I, as one with 30 years experience in construction, 15 of which was in private practice with 2 general contractors here in Hilo. Will tell you differently. There is no perfect set of plans. Example, this project had over 100 RFIs. So now you're thinking, gosh, there must have been a lot of change orders. Fact of the matter is, we only had 5 change orders, of which 2 of them were deductive change order items. So amazingly enough, we're still within the original 10.6 million bid amount budget. As you might have guessed, this is only possible when you're able to work cooperatively with the contractor. For this, I'd like to acknowledge BCP Construction, Inc., project foreman Kyle Jones. Kyle, where are you? Right out there. And the project manager, Darren Hughes. It's got to be a big relief for you guys too, eh? Which now brings us back to, without further ado, on behalf of the Department of Public Works Building Division, we congratulate Chief Darren Rosario, along with Assistant Chief Glenn Honda, and the rest of the fire department on the blessing of their new Haihai fire station. Thank you.
This is not my thing. Not a speaker, I'm a builder. And well, hopefully you look around, you know, me and my boys, we take a lot of pride in our work. This was a pretty complex project, a lot more complex than I expected. And luckily, like Nolan said, he has experience. So it was awesome to work with him. Without his knowledge and us getting together and finding solutions, it would have been a lot more complex. I don't know where to go with this, but yeah, this, like Nolan was saying, there's 62 different panels on this job. Not one's alike. There are a few that are similar. All were precast on the ground using, it's called a studcrete. It's a hybrid tilt-up wall. It uses 4 inches of concrete mated to 6-inch steel studs. And then they're all, everything's welded. It's welded to the ground, welded anchor bolts, welded to embed plates in the ground. All the upper sections are all welded tube steel. So I've been in here in the last earthquake. I think it was a 3-point something, and it didn't even creak. All it didn't move. Right down to the foundation. I mean, we've drilled holes. We've filled up all the voids under this place. I mean, you could literally support a skyscraper on this. But it should be around for the next 50, 100 years, easy. Just really proud to be a part of this. And I'd like to thank Mike, too. He allowed us to encroach on his ranch, give us a little extra space to work, and a nice little base yard on the top. We really appreciate it. Just thank everybody for coming. Thank you.
One of the people that was instrumental in pushing this project forward and making sure things fell in line, especially the notification of the community and involving the community in the project, retired Hawaii County Council Member Dennis Fresh Onishi.
Good morning, everyone. And it was a long process, but a good process. And, you know, I want to thank, well, first of all, Captain Garrett Komatsu, Captain John Kihara, and also firefighter or EMS, Mike Ishizu. Because what happened is when I got in 2008, they called me up one day and saying that I guess these surveyors came down to go and survey the roadway, and they asked us, the workers, what is this for? And they said, oh, this is for the improvements that you guys are seeing now at Iwalani and Pohakulani. And I guess back then, nobody really thought that this would ever have that reality of that improvements, right? So when I found that out, I went to the administration and asked, hey, do you folks know about this? What's going on? Nobody kind of knew. So then that's when the ball started rolling. I met with, at the time, Chief Oliveira, and we wanted to find out what was going to happen. We met with Parks and Rec to find out if we move the trucks behind the station of Kaolani, how would that affect, the operations? But then was going into the golf course, so that was another problem. So then, from there, we scratched that project. Then we went to like Machado Acres, because at that time was all forest. So I figured, okay, we can use that 4 acres maybe for the fire department and 4 acres for the park. That would be great. And at that time too, the economy was down, so Parks and Rec wasn't even looking at doing a park there. So I figured with the construction of the fire station, that could help create the park, right? But then the community didn't like it. The Chief Oliveira at that time went out to go, survey the community, because that's what we want to do, right? Make sure that the community can accept these projects, right? So then that scratched. He retired. Then Chief Rosario came in. So then we had to start looking for different places. So I want to also thank Gordon Height. He's with the land management with DLNR. He helped me in trying to figure out where the locations could be. And then what I wanted to do was get locations where it's not close to any houses. Okay, because then that's one of the problems, because everybody wants you guys service, but they don't want it right next to them, right? Okay, so we looked at this location, but then also we looked at up on Haihai and Ainaola Drive. Yeah, and so then we looked at, the chief rather he wanted, his recommendations was here. So then, thanks to Mike Tulang, being a very good supporter of the county and also to the fire department, he let us have the 2 acres. So that's how all the ball started. Then Chief Honda started to get in. Well, he was involved from the start too. He had to go to DLNR to ask them to transfer the land from the state to the county to get the fire station built. So thank you, Chief. Yeah. And so all these things had to take place. And, for me, it started a while, but then you know how it is. You want to have it built before you term out, right? Because you're like, I'm tired of Wiley. But then talking to Chief, I was like, no, we want to make sure that this place is, when we open it, it's going to be top notch and not going to have any flaws, because you guys are going to have to stay here day to day. We don't want to be coming back in, or the contractor got to come in. Okay, you got to fix this now, you got to fix that now. So that was great. Thank you, Chief. Yeah. And so then what happened is, because it wasn't going to be finished, I had Councilwoman Sue Leloy to make sure that she monitors this project, to make sure that it finishes, that it gets done and it gets to be opened, right? But sorry that she cannot be here today because she's sick. Yeah, but yeah, so I wanted to thank her too. But then it's like, it took, like, how they say, like, to build like the village, you need like everybody's help. And that's what it took here, was everybody's help. Public Works, Parks and Rec, the past mayor, because without his support too, this wouldn't have gone. The community, we had the community meetings that we had everybody come in, have their concerns, and then when we got their concerns, the community, what was it? The consulting firm, KYA. So then they did the corrections, working with Public Works and everybody. Then they said, okay, we got their concerns set, so can we move forward? I said, no. Let's meet with the community again, because what they did, we listed all their concerns, and then we had all the results, right, Chief? Right, how we fixed it. So now we went back to the committee and said, okay, this is your concern, this is how we fixed it. Are you folks okay? And then they accepted it. And so I'm hoping today, because some of the concerns about noise, so I'm hoping the noise isn't being bothered. And I know with the flooding, you should see the drainage that we put in. So flooding will be never a factor. I'm just sorry that the golf course is going to get flooded now. Right? Because everything's going to go that way. Right? So, but I want to just thank everybody for coming, and thank you, Chief. This is a project that from the beginning I was involved. So it really touches my heart to see this opening. And it's great to be here today. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. You said my name is James Pacheco. I was trying to get out of it, but Chief Honda refused to let me get out of it. But I had a long speech prepared, but thanks to Fresh, he took most of my time. To keep it brief, I'd like to thank everybody involved with this project. I mean, if you guys ever got to see the old station, I think the whole living area, bathroom, and kitchen would fit right in this area. So, I mean, you can see the sense of pride amongst our members. And we really appreciate who was ever involved with bringing this to fruition, because now we have a beautiful station. We have a training area actually we can use. We've used it already. And yeah, I'd like to thank everybody. So on behalf of HFFA, thank you very much.
I think Lilo and I must have caught the same thing. But mine is not contagious. And I was thinking of several things. I'll show you how civil defense is just part of my brain. When I walked in, the first question I asked was, what is the factor in regards to the glass? And he said it was projectile proof. And that's what I wanted to hear. Because of all the stations in the island of Hawaii, we do not have a station that people of the fire department to be able to respond to anywhere that they can assemble. All you have to do is visualize central of all things being not only not projectile proof, they're in a tsunami zone. You get the evacuation order, the Waikia station have to be evacuated, the rescue station. If we have a total evacuation because of hurricane factors, and you know how close we come, there's no place to go but bedding down the best you can. And just look at what was described here as far as the steel structure. That's not just for show and tell. We needed a place that people could go and continue work. It's not to protect the firemen. It is to protect the community so they can continue working and have everything sustainable, like the power, to be totally off-grid. And so those are the kind of things I feel very good about. But one thing I wanted to cover very, very briefly, but it is connected. And I told this man that the new recruits, just before we open this program, I want them to understand what came before them. And ironically, as I'm talking to people like Arakaki and others, reminding us about what it was before, guys, of the bunks against the wall and how they had to work with nothing. The reason you have this is because the politicians and people in power supported it. Why did they support it? It's because of the people that came before you to show good work, to show how they are and will be there when the community needs them. Otherwise, I guarantee you, if it weren't for the work of the people before you, no way would anyone support building something like this. Yeah, I think you know that. Yeah, that's just common sense. And as I told them, their job is to continue that work. So thereafter, people after them will feel proud about working for the county. Last night, I went to the Christmas event in the county building, and because he was talking about the role of public works, I felt really, really proud to be an employee of the county government of Hawaii. There were these two guys, and I'm talking about all of them, but these two guys from Public Works who on their time, you gotta go. It's too late already, that was last night. They built a box, 10 by 10 or so, shredded newspapers to act like snow, and they had a machine. This is all their own time, their own expenses, to blow out soap bubbles to mimic snowfall spray. And they had a recorder thing that they brought in, hooked up to play Christmas music. And as I was talking to them, they were just setting it up in the day. They said, yeah, you got to get people in the Christmas spirit. And you should have seen the kids and the community love, enjoyed, and laugh what they were doing because they made it a game. And I became visualized that with that lousy description of music, bubbles blowing, and they pick 2 or 3 kids at a time to go in the box and find, looks like golf balls, toy golf balls. And if you found 2, you go there, get this toy, 3, 4, and 3, 4 kids at a time. And the way they were into it, and they were really into it, laughing and doing that, et cetera, et cetera. I stood back just to watch, and in immense pride of our county workers. This is all of their own time, their own money, including the food provided to the public. I look at this place and I feel immense pride, and I'll tell you what I thought about. 4 times my family had to call fire department to transport me to the hospital. Isn't that pathetic? And once you came, the family goes at ease because they know good people are here to take care of us. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Kim. The Hawaii Fire Department is led by 2 individuals. One who will be speaking with you this morning, Fire Chief Darren Rosario and Deputy Fire Chief Renwick Victorino. Chief Rosario.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to start off by really making sure that you folks understand that although I'm the fire chief and that's the picture you'll see throughout all the fire department things and the name, I am not the fire department. The fire department is made up of the members of our whole department, and I am so blessed to have a wonderful staff that works under me that by nature of public service, the staff under you usually go unrecognized. So I'd like to start off with my Deputy Fire Chief, Ren Victorino. Been by my side. We go way back. Won't talk about our previous work experiences, but we're blessed to enjoy that, life lessons. But, without him standing beside me every day and the work that he does, a lot of things that we've accomplished wouldn't have happened. Along also my 2 assistant fire chiefs, Glenn Honda, which does our support services, and as you have heard, he was an instrumental part of this whole project here. Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, Gantry Andrade, who handles all of our emergency responses there. And then all of our battalion chiefs, our fire captains, our firefighters, the various ranks, all the way down to our newest firefighter recruits that are standing here before you folks. So thank all of you for being a part of this department and making it a great department that it is. Thank you. The next group I want to personally thank before I talk a little about the project is the community. So thank you, community members who are here today, and for those that couldn't be. We did several community meetings, and I wanted to really address your concerns. And I am so grateful and thankful that you folks allowed us to build this facility within your community here. It is truly the statement that, it takes a whole village to make, they say a child to grow, but, it really takes the whole community to make this project what it is today. And we're here for you. The fire department serves the community. And you will see that this facility, being right here in your backyard, will bring tremendous public safety to you and all around. It's a place of safe haven, as the mayor brought up, during a hurricane or other type events. And it is an open house. We are your guest. This is your home. This is your facility. We are your guest. Please don't ever think that you are not welcome to come by and stop by and visit. As we move forward, if there's any concerns about the operations itself, please contact our office and let us know so that we can work and be good neighbors with this facility as well. The design of the facility, a lot of people walk in and say, wow, such a tremendous facility. But as Kaeo brought up and everyone brought up, this was a design for minimum 50 years, but I expect it to be around over a century. You look at a lot of our facilities is nearing that. The Central Fire Station was built in the 1930s. it's soon going to roll up on 100 years. She looks like it, but we're going to do our best to. We are actively working on, improving that. A lot of our other facilities are smaller rural areas, all built in the 40s and 50s, Honoka'a Fire Station, and so forth. So, as the county grows to meet its needs, we're just one small department on the greater county. So I always have that picture in it. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of ask, a lot of needs for my department, but we also realize the big picture that we're one department, a whole big family called the County of Hawaii, serving you folks, the community here. I'd like to thank Kaeo Jones for his hard work over here, his instrumental guidance for his workers. Nolan Escaron, they said it all. I won't go back over what they said, but without you folks, this project would still be in the working stages. We're very blessed to be here today. I'd like to thank two people that was instrumental in this process here, as well as everything we did. So a project like this usually goes over a couple of administrations. I was blessed when we came in. We started with the Makale Fire Station, which was a project of Mayor Kim that started for that. A lot of planning, over 8 to 10 years of planning and getting that thing off of the ground. And then we were able to open up that station within the first year of our administration, and we started the planning of this one here with Mayor Kinoi, who wasn't able to be here today. But thanks to the mayor's support, both Mayor Kinoi and Mayor Kim, for projects like this, without their support, we wouldn't be able to do it, as well as the county council. So I'm so grateful and blessed. Thank you, Mayor, for your guidance and allowing us to do this. And we look forward to working hard on other projects and other ways that the fire department can meet the growing needs of its community. I'd like to thank the members of the Fire Commission who are here today for providing me the guidance and the direction and seeing what our department is able to provide for the community. Lastly, I'd like to thank the other members of the Hawaii County Cabinet who all work hard for their individual departments, our peer partners. We have some representatives from the State Crash Fire. I'd like to say once I saw their brand new stations, they kind of got us going, moving forward. But it just shows that, a lot of people always take and they look at government, look at what they're not doing for us. But if you really sit down and you look at here in Hawaii County, the growth we've seen, both from the state improvements as well as the county, has been enormous, and I'm so grateful for that. We are doing things here in Hawaii County that people across the state are looking at. Several projects that we're doing. Looking across there is EMS Captain Jesse Arbusal, who we piloted a project called Community Paramedicine, where we're getting paramedics out in the community, helping our kupuna and our people of need to get the proper social services they need so they don't impact the 911 service. We are the only department that is doing that across the state, and a lot of eyes are on that. And I want to say it's done with 2 personnel on a project that should have at least 30 personnel working on. We're very grateful for the opportunity to try to get that off to a running start. And we look forward to working with the state legislature this year to get us the additional apparatus and funding that we need to improve our services right on. I thank all of you folks for being here today, and after our blessing, we'll be opening the station for tours, as well as we do have our refreshments back there. Please partake in our refreshments. Gladly have that. I'd like to just close by saying Deputy Victorino brought the OO here that's on the table here. So a couple years ago, we were standing right here on this spot to do the groundbreaking, and this is the symbol right here. And it's been there. And I want to say this was a 4-year project, really, once from design to completion, unheard of. I'm very grateful for that, all the hard work there. So, to the recruits, this building symbolizes your folks' future. So, keep up the hard work hard, and be safe. Everyone, be safe out there. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Pray that individuals who will be here, men and women who will come through this station, that your hand would be upon them, that you would bless them, their families, keep them safe, give them wisdom, and help them as they transition into this new facility. But we know that you will bless and that you will keep and you will always watch over, because you're that kind of God. And so we thank you and ask for your blessing. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.